Hey guys, it's Andrei here from Elite Exposure, and in today's video, I've got something exciting for you guys. I'm going to show you a client that we onboarded just 3 weeks ago and how we were able to get them from spending upwards of $40,000 on Google Ads and not seeing much of a return to just 3 weeks later spending $4,000 and getting up more than 20 leads for their business. Now, this is with a completely fresh campaign, and in 30 days, you don't typically expect a return on investment like this. But in this case, we've done something unique, and I'm going to show you exactly what we did to get these kind of results. So if you're a painting company and you're trying to run Google Ads and it's not really working out for you, you can watch this video. I'm going to show you exactly how we're able to get a campaign successful within 30 days so that you're not waiting for leads to come in. They're coming in immediately. And before this client came to us, you can see here we've spent upwards of $40,000 Australian on several campaigns. We've got performance max campaigns, we've got search campaigns, we've even got a smart campaign. So we've tried quite a lot of things here and we've spent quite an awful amount of money, but we're not really getting conversions out of it. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what we did step by step to run a new campaign that immediately started getting results. Quickly going back to the results from the client, we've run a lot of campaigns, spent a lot of money, but not a huge return on investment. The first thing I wanted to know is exactly where he's sending this traffic and what conversions he was tracking. When we looked at the website he was running it to, the website didn't really stand out, especially with some of the competitors in the area. And therefore, we made a landing page for him so that we could actually show off his services and the benefits of choosing him over the competitors. And that way we could maximize our conversion rate for these ads. First thing we need to add to this campaign, if you're gonna run a Google Ads campaign, is high converting landing page. You can send it to your website, but I strongly do not recommend it because your website will just get people distracted. They'll have a look around the website and you will just lose the customer. But when you have a landing page, they've only got the landing page to scroll through. They can't go anywhere else. All the information they need to be able to inquire with you is going to be on that one page, and I'll show you that page later in this video. High converting landing page. We need that. We also need good quality photos. When you have good quality photos, it makes people trust you more, and therefore your conversion rate, so how many people go from a visitor to a lead, is much higher. Good quality photos. Now, when I originally looked at this, the conversions were not set up correctly. So not only did we not have very many leads at all, they weren't set up correctly. And when you're trying to tell Google to maximize conversions and the conversions are wrong, it's just not going to work. So the first thing I did was completely overhaul all these conversions that weren't real and set up new ones. And if you don't have this set up correctly, the only two conversions you need is a lead form. So someone here filling out a form that goes to a thank you page is the best way to track it, or phone call recordings. And if you don't know what phone call recordings are, if we go to this report editor, you can set Google up so it interferes with the phone call on your website. It exchanges it for one of their numbers and it reroutes to your number so that we can actually track all the details of this phone call. And I'll quickly show you here. You can see here the date and times that we received a phone call. We got the amount of time the person was on the phone for, their actual number, whether we received it or we missed it. So you can track all this information, and you always want to track this information because you want Google to optimize for actual phone calls, not just a phone call click, because that's never going to actually count as a phone call. So in terms of conversions, that's all you need is lead form and phone call recordings, and that'll track both from the website and the actual ads themselves. So that's all we need. So we need a high converting landing page, good quality photos, conversions set up correctly. If they are not set up correctly, this will never work. Another thing we needed is a good budget. Now you might be asking me, Andrei, what is a good budget for my campaign? I'm going to show you now. What you want to do, you're on Google Ads, go to tools, go planning, keyword planner. Now I'm going to look up the main keyword for my industry, which in this case is painting. And I'm just trying to look up painter. You want to set your location correctly because we don't want keywords for the entire country. We just want it for the city that we're in. In this case, it's Sydney. Go include, save, get results. Now, painter, which is the main keyword, it's going to be the most expensive keyword, and I'll get to that in a second. But you can see here the top of the page bid at the high range. So what people are paying for this keyword to be at the #1 position in Google is $13. My typical rule of thumb is if you're going to run Google ads, you need at least 10 times the maximum cost per click. So if in this case it's $13, I need a budget of at least $130 a day so I can get 10 clicks a day. And ideally I get a 5% conversion rate to start, which will give me 1 in 20 clicks will be a lead. So you can already see how expensive that's going to get within that first 30 days. Now we're aiming for a 20% conversion rate, but that's just not going to happen in the first 30 days. So you need at least a 10x budget. We can aim for a 10% conversion rate. It is achievable and we've done it before, but you want at least a 10x budget of what the top of the range cost per click is. Now you might end up running this keyword and it's going to be less, and you can even run other keywords as well, which are cheaper, but this is your ideal. If you don't have this, you're going to struggle with Google ads. So if you have a budget of only $30 a day and you're only getting 1 to 2 clicks a day, it's just not going to work out for you and it's not feasible. You won't get results and you will waste your money. So good budget of 10x the max cost per click limit. Tie that in. What we need as well, proper campaign setup. It goes without saying, if you do not set up your campaign correctly, it will not work. Therefore, you're going to want to watch the rest of this video and see how we professionally set up a campaign for a competitive city like Sydney to make this actually work and feasible, because he spent a lot of money before and not really gotten results. That being said, we'll go to our campaigns. I'm going to cut that because let's start with the high converting landing page first and work our way down. What I've got here is the dummy page. This isn't the real page that we're using for our Google ads for obvious reasons, but it gives you an idea of what the landing page should look like if you want to be successful. A few things to point out here. We need to build trust, because if someone needs their home painted, inside or outside, we need to show them why they should spend $5,000 to $15,000 with us over someone else. Therefore, this page needs to be a page about building trust with the consumer and showing them why we're the best people to choose for the job. What we've got is we've got a logo up here. We've got our amazing 64 plus 5-star Google reviews. We've got our fake phone number in this case. We've got some benefit points to help the customer make a decision. And so they know that we do everything that they need us to do and they can call us for the job. Interior and exterior painting services in Sydney. You want to make it crystal clear what you do, because if this heading right here doesn't make sense or it doesn't match the ad headline that you ran, this is not going to work. We've got here a little sub headline saying that, you know, we're the best painting services and we guarantee that your house will look amazing after we're done. Get a free quote. You always want to have this as a pop-up so that no matter where they are on the page, it's not going to scroll. It's just going to show here and then we'll grab all their information. We've got some more stats about why we're the best people for the job. This is how long we've been in business. This is how many homes we've served, interior and exterior projects. We're reaffirming that we're experts, we're affordable, and we're residential painters in your city. Some more benefit points as to why you should choose us. Here is the actual services. Now, when you're running a campaign like this, you always want to list the actual services you do, because that's what the homeowner is actually going to be looking for. We've got here interior painting services, exterior painting services, nice flash photos of the work he's done. We've got an actual map of the location that we're in. Maps always help because people know where they live, and when you visually show that you service their area, it's more likely to get them across the line, on top of saying that you're in their city. We've got here some more benefit points of why you should choose us and what you get after painting your home. You transform your space with a fresh coat of paint, expert surface preparation, affordable and transparent pricing. And again, another call to action to get a quote through the form. Now, in this case, the client is getting more form submissions and the form submissions are actually better. What we're going to be doing in month 2 is focusing more on getting people to fill out the forms, because those are the more serious inquiries that we're getting. Here's how you get an instant quote with us. You call us now, we prepare a quote, and you get to enjoy the results. Nice, simple design, and so far it's working. You can call us now, nice red moving button. If you didn't already know, when you have stuff on your page that moves, you'll get a higher conversion rate, because instinctively, we're actually programmed to notice things that move. If you've ever noticed out in the distance or looking at your screen and you see something move on the edge of your eye, you're actually drawn to it. So I want people to be drawn to these call to actions so they actually, take some action. Got here some more photos of our work and more reasons to choose us. We've got results from our happy customers. We've shown some of our best 5-star reviews, and you can actually read them here by clicking on this pop-up. We've got a workmanship guarantee and a photo of our team. And again, get a free quote, fill out the form, and that's really all you need. This page doesn't have to be super complex, but it needs to be simple and it needs to give people a reason as to why they should choose you over someone else. Good quality photos. I have seen this time and time again across all my clients, across every single trade industry. The clients that do the best are the ones that don't use stock photos, but they use real photos of their team, sometimes taken by a photographer, which will help you because a photographer knows how to show you off. When you've got photos of you, your team, and some of your vans, your conversion rate will go up immediately and it'll definitely get you a better return on investment because people can trust you more. They know exactly who's going to show up to their house to do this work. We've touched briefly on conversions set up correctly. I will be putting out a video later on about how to set up conversions correctly for trade businesses because it's often done wrong. But essentially, you want to set it up with Google Tag Manager. You want to set up phone call recordings with Google Ads itself. And you want to set up so that your form is redirected to a thank you page and you're tracking the page view on the thank you page. We've already talked about the budget that we need for this campaign. We've already got plenty of budget, so that's not a concern here. But if you have a smaller budget, you can choose some different keywords, but you got to be careful with that because those keywords might not be as high intent and therefore you might not get a serious buyer out of it. Proper campaign setup. Let's get into that. How we set up Google Ads. First of all, Performance Max is basically showing your ads all over the internet. You might think that's great, but it's not because the most serious buyers, they're going to be on Google looking for a painter. Whereas when you're doing Performance Max, you're basically showing your ad on people's emails, you're showing it on random websites, you're showing it on YouTube when someone's trying to watch cat videos. You want to run a search campaign to begin with, and later on you can do some display campaigns for retargeting people that have already been to the website. In terms of actual campaign setup, I immediately went for maximized conversions because I want to get conversions as quickly as possible. You can do maximized clicks, but sometimes you're often waiting longer for results when you can just straight go to maximized conversions, which will work just as well. Conversion goals. I've set up the correct conversions, so submit lead forms and actual phone calls. If you have other conversions that you can't remove from your profile, manually select the ones that you actually want to target. And for me, it's phone call leads and submit lead forms. I will be removing the phone call leads at some point because we're getting more time wasters from phone calls, and I'd rather just have the campaign get me more form submissions. You can bid equally for new and old customers. That doesn't matter right now. It is going to matter later on, 3 to 4 months' time. Marketing objective, I just do leads because that's what we're going for. Here, you don't want to select either of these. We just want to show up on Google search only. So if someone looks up painter in Sydney, my ads are going to be there. I've just set up a small radius of 10 miles of where I'm targeting, and that's all you really need. Radiuses work a lot better than postcodes. And then here's a pretty important one. Presence, people that are regularly in my targeted location. If the customer is not in or living in your location, you obviously don't want to show your ads to them. So for most trade businesses, this is the one you want. If you do some sort of tourism type thing, then sure, you want people that are actually in your target location. They're going to be traveling through your target location, or they plan to at some point. This is the one you want for a trade business. I'd like to put the local language down as English because sometimes you have people that are foreign and they don't speak the language at all. It's often harder to communicate with them, and this client doesn't really want to deal with people that don't speak proper English. Budget here, I've got a healthy budget of 170 a day. Now the client can put more budget towards the campaign, but I want to try get the conversion rate up first before I spend more money with Google for now. Like I said before, I'm just on maximize conversions. I am not setting a target cost per acquisition just now because I want Google to have more data before we actually go through with that. Automatically created assets, I always have this off because Google's AI tends to make some really ridiculous assets, and I don't want that at all, so I'm going to have that off. And broad match keywords, I have it off. I want to manually select the keywords that I actually want to target. All these additional settings, you don't need them as of right now, so I just leave them as is. What we've done here is I've just launched an exterior campaign. So I've got a dedicated campaign for just exterior, and I've also created a separate landing page for it too. I've only just launched it, and it seems like Google has not been showing it because I'm trying to get conversions. So it's just running my general painter campaign for now. I have chosen to just do one ad group for now because of how expensive the keywords can get. If I divide this up into a whole bunch of other ad groups, which I definitely can, I'm going to be stretching the budget too thin, and it's not really going to allow for enough conversions to come in. What the plan actually is is once we actually have a more decent budget of 300 to 400 a day, then I can start dividing it up by interior, exterior, painter near me, all that sort of thing. We've gone through the proper campaign setup. Now what we want to do is here. We've gone with one ad group for now. Like I said before, the reason for that is just because we don't have an insane budget to work with, and therefore I'd rather work with one ad group for now until we increase the budget, get some paid jobs coming through, and then we can increase the budget from there. We're only running 2 ads at a time, just seeing which sort of combination of headlines actually gets more conversions. I'm not going to show that for now because it'll give away who the client is. So we got 1 ad group for now. We've got 2 ads. We've got ad 1 and ad 2. Both of these ads go to our high converting landing page. It's a pretty basic setup, but it works. This is all you need to actually get your campaign up and running correctly. This is what you need for your successful painting campaign. And then if we zoom in here, if we have a proper campaign setup with 1 ad group with 2 different ads that are different, so we can see what gets better click-through rates and conversion rates with our high converting landing page, that will equal money. Now this client is actually converting about 70% of them are he's quoting, and so far he's closed about 30% of the jobs. So doing the math there, this is very profitable right from the get-go. This is the basic campaign setup. Now to go through some more options with you guys, one thing that you definitely need is proper keyword research, because what you'll find is a lot of keywords you can target, and Google is going to show your ads for a lot of keywords, especially if you use broad and phrase match. And a lot of those keywords make no sense for you to actually be spending money on. That being said, I've got a video linked below on how to do proper keyword research for your campaign. Go watch that video because it's very important and it'll definitely save you a lot of money in terms of spending money with Google. Some other things you want to keep an eye on is the audiences. What I've done here is I've immediately excluded 18 to 24-year-olds because more likely than not, someone who's 18 to 24 is not going to own the house and therefore very unlikely to actually convert. I'm not going to show the table right now, but I will be excluding other audiences as well, because depending on how much they actually convert. I wouldn't recommend excluding males or females because you'll often find that it's a mixed bag with painting. And household income, I've excluded the lower income brackets because they're very unlikely to actually need painting services or can actually afford our services. Ad schedule. I've actually put an ad schedule for this client because what he's finding is he's getting the best results in the morning. So I've excluded everything from 12 o'clock onwards and just focusing on that specific time. What I've also done is I've actually added images, business name, business logo, site links, headlines, descriptions, call outs, structured snippets, calls. I didn't add lead form, didn't add message. I added location. I've added some price points in there for discounts that we're giving out and some promotions. You want to include as much of these as possible and keep a close eye on the clicks, the cost per click, and the conversion rates, and make adjustments as you go, because what you'll find is all of these assets are actually helping you convert the leads. So this is how you want to set up the campaign within the first 30 days. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to quickly show you how you would scale this campaign once you're actually getting conversions consistently after those first 30 days. I'm just going to take this. So that's our first 30 days. And what I'm going to do is we're going to have here, because the client does interior. So we got interior campaign and we got exterior campaign. I'm separating these because I want to divide up the budget accordingly based on what's actually getting more conversions. And it's harder to do this when they're in ad groups and under one campaign. So what I'll probably do is have 2 campaigns at probably $200 a day each. And then I can actually split this up and control it better. So we got interior and exterior campaign. I'm going to have separate ad groups. The reason I'm going to have 3 is because you'll have certain keywords that you can really niche down on with exact match keywords and profit off more. And what I mean by that, for interior, for example, we're going to have all the interior painting keywords. We're going to have the regular painter keywords in one of these ad groups. And then I'm going to have the location-based keywords in another ad group. And then what I might also have is a cost-related keywords in a separate one, because there's a lot of cost-based keywords. Most of them are useless. They won't actually contribute towards your success, but a very small amount of them are actually really useful, and you're going to want to take advantage of them. So we're going to paste this over. So we're going to do the same thing for interior and exterior. What we want to do is have some separate ads. So we always want to have 2 ads for every single ad group, because we're always split testing what's actually going to work better, because we want to get the most amount of leads for the best cost. And then all of these, we'll have 2 landing pages, interior landing page and exterior landing page. So that's basically it. When you're scaling this campaign, we're going to have interior and exterior separate campaigns. We're going to have a whole bunch of different keywords that we want to target separately. We're going to have at least 8 ads running at the same time and split testing what works better. And then we'll have a separate landing page for each service that we can actually convert as much as possible. With this setup, you can easily convert 20% of your visitors as long as your keywords and your landing pages are really nice. There should be no reason why you can't convert 1 in 5 users using this method. But even just for now, running this basic setup for the first 30 days, the client was able to spend only $4,000 in ads, which is significantly less than the $40,000 he was spending before. He has a very simple ad setup with a nice landing page now. He's gotten just over 20 leads. We've had some extra leads go to the website manually, but we know they came from ads. And he's already been able to close some jobs valued at $5,000 to $15,000 each. So far, a very profitable campaign for the first 30 days. The client's happy. Over time, we're going to be expanding the campaign into this. We can spend more money, make more money. The client is able to keep his team busy. He's able to get more team members on board. This is how he's going to get the best leads for his business, so he can spend less time talking on the phone and more time actually closing jobs. If you're a painting company and you need help with your Google ads, you can actually book a call with my team below, and we can actually set all this up for you, including landing pages for your business if your current website is just not converting enough right now.